In your experience as a former state attorney general who took the previous Trump administration to court, how fast do you think today's lawsuit could make its way through the courts?
Because this is an ongoing activity where the National Guard from California were deployed, I believe the courts are going to see this as an important action to take on quickly because, anytime you have folks who are trained in the use of force, things can happen. So I don't think the courts want to see this erupt in the wrong direction using the California National Guard. So my hope is that they'll take this up fairly rapidly.
When you say fairly rapidly, are we looking at a few days, weeks? What's your best guess?
On what type of action the state of California, the governor, the attorney general request. If they do ask for some type of injunctive action to prevent certain deployment of these National Guard troops, then that would probably be taken up fairly quickly, Alex. If it's only to try to resolve whether or not the president had the power to do that, then probably longer. I'm hoping that the governor is going to say this could lead to real calamity. We've seen how these things can erupt, and we don't want to have this become the reason why there is violence on the streets of Los Angeles or anywhere else. So courts, please take this case on quickly.
And what could actually change if California wins?
Things go back to the way they should be, back to normal, where the president doesn't tell a governor how to conduct public safety. Neither the police chief in Los Angeles or the mayor nor the governor of the state of California requested that the president take these unprecedented steps of deploying California's National Guard in a way and on the streets of LA that were not needed. No one at LAPD was saying we can't control the situation. And in fact, if you think about this, Alex, the only place that we've seen disruption, destruction, violence is where ICE is. And take, for example, what happened today, where they're in downtown Los Angeles, well more than 1,000 people gathered to protest ICE actions and to support labor leader David Huerta and many others who were detained and now are being arraigned by the federal courts. That manifestation, that rally took place, no violence. It was done with safety in mind, no ICE. And so the only place we've seen these disruptions and these eruptions is where ICE has been.
Now, is there a chance that if, Governor Newsom interferes with the federal administration's efforts to detain undocumented people or interferes with these military deployments, that he could actually be arrested?
So first, and I say this as the former attorney general in our great state, the governor has the right to protect the affairs of our state, including public safety. And so long as he's conducting lawful activity, there is no basis for him to be arrested on any federal grounds or federal charges. The only way he could be arrested is if he violates the law and arrested by federal authorities if he's violating federal law. And I don't believe the governor is contemplating doing that. The governor may wish to stand up with the people of his state. He may want to stand up for the Constitution and the Due Process Clause of the U.S. Constitution. But I don't see that there's anything that the governor is looking to do that would give Donald Trump and his troops a basis to arrest. Again, these are inflammatory words that are being used by the president, by the president's so-called immigration czar, and they aid nothing here in trying to have order. When the president says this is all about law and order, the only disorder that we've seen is where ICE is. The only injury that we've seen, it was suffered as a result of ICE raids. And I can guarantee you that no one wants to see violence. Certainly not the immigrants that we're all trying to protect. Certainly not the peaceful protesters who want to support those hardworking immigrant families. And so at this stage, I would simply say to all the agitators, whether they've been on the streets of LA or located in the White House, stay home. Stay in your home. If you're planning to agitate, stay home, whether it's here in LA or in the Oval Office, just stay home.
Where do you think things go from here to de-escalate some of the tensions in LA? And where do you think the governor and mayor turn from here?
I think here is where we need to give a big shout out and thanks to the women and men in uniform from LAPD, the folks that have from state and local law enforcement agencies have been trying to be helpful here, both helpful in terms of making sure they coordinate with ICE so things don't get out of hand, but also coordinating with the community so that they understand what lawful, peaceful protest looks like. We try to help them because there have been agitators, and that is not good. We don't need folks to rile things up to make it look like all of these overwhelming numbers of peaceful protesters are doing the wrong thing. We want to be able to make it clear, ICE, we can't stop you from doing immigration enforcement. But we have every reason and we'll use every tool to make sure if you're going to do enforcement, you do it according to the law and you don't overreach.
And is there anything else that you'd like to add that I didn't ask you?
I hope that people are inspired to also stand up for folks who have been deprived of their constitutional rights. I hope people will speak up if they see someone who's about to exploit the situation to try to agitate. The person who's holding a stone in their hand, ready to hurl it at a police officer's cruiser. I hope you'll stand up. Honestly, I hope people will stand up and show their uh, support for these hardworking families waving American flags. And I get it when I see the Mexican flags. My parents are both from Mexico, and I get people want to stand up and say, "We see you. You're not forgotten in this country." But at the same time, if we're going to defend people like David Huerta and all those folks who got detained and now arrested and charged, it's going to be because of the Constitution of the United States and the Due Process Clause. And the flag of the United States of America is the symbol of that Constitution. So I hope people will feel as proud to wave the American flag as we've seen waving other flags as well. And I don't begrudge them, but I think in this country, it will be because of our U.S. Constitution that justice is done.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.